the 6 master lessons we learned from Tony Robbins when it comes to emotions. My name is Michael Barayev. I was able to build a team of 150 plus sales guys in less than 2.5 years. We did it with zero money invested. Now we have a lot of different companies that are growing like crazy from coast to coast like butter on toast. So let's talk about Tony Robbins. By the way, Tony Robbins has been an amazing impact on my life, probably in your life. And these are some of the things that I've learned, 6 teachings on emotions that we can all apply to our life to become better business owners, better entrepreneurs, better fathers, better brothers, better people in society. So number 1, understanding that emotions drive behavior. Okay, emotions are the force behind every single action we make and every decision we make. And when we understand those emotions, and we can connect with those emotions and understand why we feel certain things, and it's okay to feel them. For example, one of the things I learned in anger management a long time ago, I had to take it, I was forced, was that in anger management, they teach you that it's okay to be angry. It's what you do with the anger that really matters. Feeling angry, feeling upset, feeling sad, happy, glad, joyful, those are all normal emotions that every human has. And understanding that emotions is what's going to drive you as a human being to create action, right? That's number 1. Number 2, there are 6 human needs that every human being has to have. Our emotions are tied to every single one of these, right? Number 1 is certainty. Every human being wants certainty. Every human being wants variety, right? We want certainty and where we're going to sleep tonight, where we're going to eat, right? There's certainty to that. And there's also variety. We need a little bit of a change, some spiciness in our life. So we need certainty, we also need variety. Number 3 is we need significance. And we need to feel like we're doing something important. We need to feel important. Number 4 is connection. We need to connect with other human beings because being by yourself can be very, very lonely, and God designed us to be connected to other people. Number 5 is growth. Every human being desires and needs growth in their life. Whether it's mental growth, physical growth, there has to be some kind of growth in your life. And the last but not least is contribution. Every single human being wants to contribute into society, wants to contribute to other people. So that's number 2 lesson that I learned with Tony Robbins, right? Number 3 is the negative emotions are signals. They're not bad. For example, there's signals that we need to change and we need to grow. For example, having pain, being upset, being sad, being, hurt. Those are signs that there's a change that has to happen in your life, right? For example, if you touch a hot stove, imagine if it didn't burn your hand. It didn't, become hot. You would just leave your hand there. It would burn your whole hand off. But God designed our bodies to say, "Oh, it's hot." So it gives you a signal to say, hey, pay attention, right? Which is what pain is about, which is what anger and sadness is all about. It's about, hey, something is not right here. You need to create some kind of change. When I was younger, I was going through a lot of emotions, a lot of negative emotions, and I didn't understand why I was going through them. But it was just signals from God saying, hey, fix this situation in your life. Change something. And when you do, you actually start feeling the opposite emotions, right? Number 4 is changing your emotional state. There's different tools that Tony Robbins talks about and a lot of people talk about. There's tools out there that can help you shift and change your emotional state, right? And there's 3 parts to that. Number 1 is focus. When you shift from problems to solutions, gratefulness, your mind completely changes everything, right? How you feel about something. So let's say, for example, you get into a car accident, right? Your car gets damaged. One of the things that I learned, I've been through many car accidents, I haven't been one recently, but when I remember a long time ago, I was in a car accident. I remember that I came out of the car, I was like, oh my God, thank God I'm alive. The gratitude that I had shifted my mind from saying, oh my God, until I got into a car accident, I just lost some money or whatever, that I'm alive and another person is alive. And you can start focusing, shifting your mindset, your emotions towards something different, right? Those are tools that we have to get good at. It's training your brain to focus on the positive versus the negative. Everything happens for a reason, and it's there to teach you something of value. And you have to learn how to shift with some tools that are out. Number 2 is the physiology, right? Changing your posture, your movement, your breathing to feel better. A lot of times you may feel angry, but instead of punching the wall, why not just go take a little walk? Changing your physiology, get up, breathe. Change the way your body physically feels because your physical body creates a lot of the emotion, right? A lot of times we don't feel like going to the gym, but the second we get up, put our clothes on, walk to the gym, actually walk in, we're like, okay, I'm gonna get to the gym, right? And we get to the workout. And you feel so much better because you just change the physiology of the situation. Because if you're laying down in bed, you're like, I don't wanna go to the gym. Of course you don't wanna go to the gym because you're laying in bed. But the second you get up, you put your pants on. You don't wanna do it at the moment. You walk to the gym. By that moment, your physiology changed, physical body changed. So guess what? You're not able to create action, right? And last but not least, language, right? Use empowering words to reframe the way you think. Sometimes you may feel upset. Don't say, I'm angry, I'm upset. A lot of times people feed into the bullshit. Speak differently. Speak the words that you actually want. I always tell my guys, never speak what you have, speak what you want. What do you want? How do you want to feel? You want to feel happy? Speak about that. I'm happy. I'm going to feel happy. And it sounds like hocus pocus schmocus, but it's really not. Changing the language that you speak will determine the lens you have towards your life. Number 5, your state. Right? Your state changes everything. Your environment. For example, I live in a beautiful apartment. I have great sunlight. For me, that's important. But the state of where I am, of my body, my mind, my soul, my spirit, it has to be together. And I like to be in an apartment that I'm in. I love being here because I'm put into a very good state. Sometimes you have to put yourself and choose certain emotions like gratitude, love, joy, versus, choosing to be fearful and angry and scared and upset and depressed, because we all have a choice on how we feel. What emotion you focus on is exactly what you will. What emotions do you focus on is the question on a daily basis. Are you focused on all the that's happening in your life, or are you focused on the grateful, amazing, positive things that are happening in your life? And you may say, Michael, my whole life is upside down. That may be true, but there's still things that are upside down that may be upside up. For example, you may be sleeping in your car right now like I was at 19 years old for a couple of days, couple of weeks, whatever it may be. But the upside is this. You don't got to pay rent. Right? Think about that. There's a lot of positives that come out of it. You're learning on, what you're going through, learning from your mistakes. Maybe this is the best thing that could ever happen to you, so you're never going to sleep in that be in that position ever again. It's a lesson you needed. Maybe you lost a lot of money. You needed that lesson. Everything happens for a reason, but it's a good reason. You got to change your lens, change your language, and your life will be different. Number 6, control your emotions, right? Don't let your emotions control you. You create them, master them. The key in life is not about just living life. It's about success and fulfillment and filling in those needs and filling in those things that we actually want to accomplish as a human being. But emotions is what drives us. And when you can learn to be emotionally intelligent, which is what has helped me in the last 3-4 years, I promise you, my emotions were I did not know how to control my anger, my sadness, I just couldn't control myself. I didn't know how to do it. But once I learned these things from Tony Robbins, it changed my life. And there's tools out there to help you, even though you may feel like you have a little bit of control. One thing I learned, and one thing that I heard a long time ago, one of my mentors said, Michael, if you don't learn to control your emotions are going to control you. Which is one thought that kind of led me to the second thing was, I remember I was so angry all the time. And he said, Michael, every time you get angry, think of it this way. You're picking up you're grabbing up a piece of hot coal. And all you're doing is trying to get angry and throw it on someone. But what you're doing in reality is that you're picking up a hot coal and burning your own hand. And you're the one that's causing pain to yourself. So you don't hurt people around you when you're angry, you're hurting yourself, right? And this doesn't mean you cannot be angry. It's okay to feel angry. It's what you do with that anger, right? It's okay to feel sad. How long do you stay with those negative emotions? Are you there in and out? Or are you there for hours and days and weeks and months? And once you can learn to master your emotions, life will become easy because now you're able to master your life. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. If you love this kind of content, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.